Look, I know my whole shtick is doing reviews on video games and other cool media, but I thought I'd give my content a spin where I want to talk about something personal to me. Call it a storytime video if you will, but of course, looking at the title, you're probably thinking to yourself that this isn't a storytime animation and it's just an excuse to info dump about something. But to that, I say, I really like conventions. Okay, but that's what everyone says, and I need to be more honest. Conventions are super fun, and this is coming from an amateur. I've really only ever been to 2 conventions from recent memory, but both of them were absolutely fun all around. Throughout those experiences, there's something I learned when it came to doing conventions, and it's that there's a lot you need to do in order to prepare for one. Buying tickets, booking hotels, planning out a date to travel, packing, planning out a cosplay, if you're planning on doing one, driving or flying out depending on how far the convention is, and then you finally make it to your hotel. But I'm not done yet, cause then if you're flying out, you're gonna need to buy water and get your convention pass, and then, and only then, will you finally get to experience the convention full on. Full disclosure, I don't like being in crowded places that much, whether it be festivals, airports, or anything else in general. Crowded places have always been overwhelming for me. It's kind of something I haven't enjoyed for a long time now, and it's sad too, because I miss out on a lot of fun things in life. But you know what? Somehow, conventions helped me tackle that fear against being in crowded places. Conventions are complex, and that's why I kind of wanted to make this video, to educate those who have never been to a convention before. And also, I did present this a while ago with a club, but sadly I feel like it didn't go well, so I wanted to make this more expanded version of that presentation so that at the very least, I can expand on my thoughts as well as talk about more of my personal experiences. Full disclosure, if you have been on the channel for a while, I did say I would make a video about Too Many Games 2023, and I intend to do that, but I'm planning to save that for the end of this video. So with that said, let's begin. When it comes to things you'll need for a convention, the most important thing to bring is water. Absolutely bring water. You're going to be walking around the convention hall for probably 6 to 8 hours, and it's probably going to be super warm, so that's why it's important to hydrate as much as possible. Speaking of warm, absolutely wear comfortable clothes as well. Make sure to wear clothes that are suited for a crowded environment, like short sleeve shirts and maybe a pair of comfortable jeans or shorts, and whatever you do, do not wear a cosplay that'll make you feel uncomfortable. Also, if you're planning on buying stuff, be sure to bring a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money. Because if there's one thing I've learned about conventions, it's that you're gonna want to buy a lot of stuff. And damn it, they do a damn good job at getting you to buy stuff. Also, make sure to practice personal hygiene. I'm not lying when I say this. Personal hygiene is one of the biggest factors to any convention, whether you're going for the day or going for the entire weekend. It's always important to keep clean for any convention, especially when you're waiting in line to get a picture or an autograph with a guest or two. Moving on with that, conventions are for anyone, but it'd be better if you get people who are more familiar with the topic, hence why I ask you to bring friends along. I don't care if it's too hard to convince your friends, but traveling with a group is essential for every convention. And also promotes safety. Imagine traveling to a convention alone and Creeps McGee over here comes up to you and makes you feel uncomfortable. That's why it's important to literally travel in a group. Even so, if you don't have anyone to bring along, don't be afraid to make friends at conventions. It's a good way to talk to people with common interests. There are many different examples of what not to do at a convention. These can range from physical to verbal actions. What I've personally learned from personal observations is to not worship guests as some sort of messiah. They're people like us, just with bigger followings. It doesn't give you an excuse to go out of your way and worship the ground they stand on, honestly. Of course, I can't forget about my favorite example, making cosplayers uncomfortable. This is a factual true statement, but earlier this year I went to a convention in my state, right? And one of the very few people to recognize my cosplay was somebody who didn't want to even bang the right character. Yes, I vaguely remember someone at this convention said that they wanted to bang another version of the character I was cosplaying as. I told him at least I wasn't cosplaying as the character and brushed it off. But I guess sometimes you'll meet people like that at conventions, so you can't really control that, I guess. As an amateur who's only ever been to 2 conventions, I thought it'd be fun to also talk about my own positive convention experiences. I should have experiences of my own, despite my very limited knowledge of them, but if you've been to a single convention, you already get the idea of what a convention is or what to expect from conventions. It's a place where a group of fans can meet up and celebrate their culture, and that's what attracted me to Too Many Games 2023. It was for gamers who had the same interest as me, and I was no exception. That doesn't make sense, but yeah. At the time, I was really getting into the YouTube game with my reviews on Pizza Tower, Mystery of Mamo, and Pirate's Curse, and I thought to myself, maybe it's time to finally go to this convention, and that I did. One of the earliest things I remember about this convention was that I was kind of pressured to partake in a Mario Kart Double Dash tournament. I will admit, Double Dash isn't my strong suit, since it's the one Mario Kart game I don't really care for. I will say though, despite not caring for this game, I had fun actually playing this game, and in Mario Kart Double Dash, you can play with up to 16 players via special LAN mode, so I was partnered up with someone I wasn't all too familiar with. But regardless, I had fun and I enjoyed it a lot. Even if we didn't place first, it was still hella rad. The next day, I did my first cosplay ever, which was Sig from Puyo Puyo, and a lot of people recognized me there, which was awesome. I was honestly so happy that many of the people I saw at the convention recognized who I was, and I think that was what made me love conventions, meeting new faces and getting to meet people you've heard vague details about. And that pretty much covers everything you need to know about conventions, and also my own personal experiences as well, despite the fact that this was literally my own personal experiences with conventions, I guess, so do that as you please. From proper hygiene to cosplaying, this is one of the most definitive guides to how to convention, and if you think otherwise, well then, fuck. I cannot stress how much money I have spent at conventions, whether they were for games, autographs, and photos with guests, or just supporting artists in general. I like supporting artists. You should support an artist one day. I think the magic of a convention truly comes out when you're able to share like-minded interests, which is why I've been getting into conventions as of recently. Getting to meet like-minded people who share the same interests is always nice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a panel to get to at a convention. I'll see you guys around!